Hey, everybody. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Oh, my gosh. I clicked the right one. We're here. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Is my audio
Welcome
working?
back.
We're
We're
working.
back.
Our audio works. Our video works. The
That's
chat's working. The Stream Elements bot's running. Stubaka's dropping German. Ho Chi Young's dropping Spanish.
Yes.
So we're here. We're back. Welcome, everybody. Oh my gosh. How long has it been?
I'd say about a month and a half. A solid month,
Month
and
and
a
a
half.
Are you crazy? I think it's been like 3 months.
I don't think it's been 3. Has it been 3?
Oh, I think it's been a while, bro. I think it's been. I don't want to like mess up our studio. Somebody who's better than us can look at our video thing and see how terrible we are.
I'll look at it again.
Razvan's here. Look at you, man. You guys like we've gone forever. We come back and you're here. Oh, it feels so good.
I know. I'm looking now.
Yeah, so holiday season. There's like 2 months plus. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it was definitely before Christmas. It's been a while. It's been a long while. It's been a really long while. It's good though.
2
I'm
months.
so glad. I know. Holy moly! Oh my gosh, the things that have happened. I've been in the States. God, actually, yeah, it would have been like all in November, because we haven't done a show since I went to the States. So that'd been like
Yeah, that's right.
all December essentially. I was in the States, like like the middle of December ish. We stopped our show, so yeah, it would have been like for the holidays. I was there for like a full month, then back Chinese New Year, and then everything's back, and then now
SHOT Show. I was at SHOT Show.
you were at SHOT Show. I didn't go. I'm not even going. I actually got my Iwa tickets, and then I decided not to go. So yeah, I haven't even told you that yet. I'm not going to Iwa.
It's okay. I'm not going to UA too, so.
It's because I've changed my mind. I'm gonna be. I decided because like it doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm not hailing distribution in Germany for anything I do. And for those of you that do airsoft YouTube, I know like Stu's in here. Man, like unless you're dropping shorts, like forget if you are doing meaningful long form content in the airsoft world. You can put all that energy into your great videos, spend hours, days working, polishing, perfecting, just to get less than 5% of your audience at a good day. 2%, 3%. It's terrible, man. It's really bad. It's so bad. Yeah, it's RIP 2023 YouTube for the airsoft and or real pew pew industry. It's gone. So, but on a positive note, Pac McNamara did a video on BCM airsoft.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Nice. Well, the thing is, like, Mama Susan is gone. She's stepping down.
Yep.
So, hey, I'm optimistic. So.
Yeah, maybe change. Maybe it'll shift. Maybe become more neutral. I'm thinking, with good old Uncle Elon, kind of steering the direction of Twitter, and I would like to say in a much more neutral direction, and not so constantly just doing left-hand circles all the time. Maybe more of a straight path that hopefully YouTube maybe will start to see something different. I'm not giving up. I'm not burying airsoftology. Actually, Mark, I've talked to you about I don't want to give it away yet, like what my plans are for Q2, Q3. I got to put some energy into that, because right now I'm dumping all my energy into patches. And holy moly, man.
Patchfiend.com. This episode is brought to you by Patchfiend.com.
Actually, better yet, just go to Amazon.com/patchfiend. That's where all the sales are happening. Geez, man.
If we say that, do they charge us extra for like Amazon affiliation? You know how Amazon they have these, they have their tendrils and everything.
No. Actually, if I put links, I could do affiliate links and I could double dip. You double dip the chip, but I won't. No, it's literally just Amazon.com/patchfiend. That's that or patchfiend.com. Anyway, I got a whole. I mean, for the past 3 weeks, I've been in the lab, like putting my very rudimentary art skills to test. Like, you have no idea how bad of an artist I am, and yet I showed you before the show, like the ones I did. I'm like,
some of the videos that
and
you have.
it's like, it's not just like people are like, oh, you just take the thing on the internet and you just copy it. No, you gotta like draw this stuff. You gotta come up with good ideas, and I gotta do research and see if they sell in other markets and other media and mediums, and I don't know. It's exhausting. So, but I got 5 new ones coming out. Dude, the noodle patch, the Send Nudes one, dude, it's blowing up. It's just absolutely blowing up. Like I already had to do a reorder on them from the factory.
Nice.
They are on fire, and the booby calculator's on fire. I didn't think it was like such a slow start. I dropped that one. It was like, oh, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Like nothing. Like one purchase, like one purchase a week, and I'm like, oh, it's dead. It's like, oh, I thought it was a funny joke. Nobody's gonna be like. And then all of a sudden, like after Christmas, it was like January. It's like, whew, I don't know what happened. It like just got traction, and now it's like they're just selling.
People probably clued in. They're like, oh, boobs, haha, funny.
Yeah, turn the calculators in. I don't know. Do I even have one around here? I'm like tethered here. I've got like just a calculator with like the word. You're a kid. Our age, you can type the word boobies.
006.
It's like 8. It's like 5 1 3 1008 or something like that, or 8008 or something like that. I forget the number. Yeah. Anyway, you turn upside down. Those bills were boobies. Just whatever.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just like like they don't even have calculators like that anymore. But anyway, I digress. That's my day job. Like making pieces of PVC, polyvinyl chloride, and selling toy pew-pews. So what are you gonna do? Speaking of which, how are you doing, man? Like I know we're gonna dive deep into your world. You got a lot, but let's talk about today back. Let's not go forward. Let's go back in time.
Yeah, let's go backwards.
Let's rewind to November.
The holiday seasons was pretty good. Had the producer in town for a little bit of time. And so we went up to Sendai. We went to the Ginsan Onsen.
That's a famous one. Oh, I
that's
always see the
inspired
photos.
Spirited Away, yeah.
Yeah. The photos on IG. I follow some accounts. They always do it. It's so beautiful. I saw your stuff on there too. By the way,
and you have to
Real
go.
Mark West.
Yes, please.
Is it the Real Mark West or Real Mark West?
It's just Real Mark West.
Real Mark West is MARCK
Yes.
West. You can find him on IG.
Please,
Dude, his content's real. It's legit. He's really worth a follow for real.
So yeah. Ginsan Onsen up in Yamagata Prefecture. So we go up to. So that was actually a really enjoyable.
Wait. What's an onsen?
There.
For those who don't know, what's onsen?
So onsen is the hot springs. So this town that we went to is like in all those like top destinations you must visit in Japan. And it's basically like a river that runs through an old silver mine. It's an old silver mine. That's where this place is located, right? And you can actually go into the silver mine. It's pretty cool. But anyways, it's an old mining town, and it's an old silver mine. And because, a lot of people get tired from all the mining, so they started building these hot spring kind of hotels or hostels close to the mine, right? And over time, it just kind of became a place to go because it's still it looks extremely traditional. It inspired the main Sento from the movie from Ghibli, Spirited Away.
And then there's also part of the scene is done here too in Taiwan from Spirited Away.
Yeah. So that's basically the place. So you see it all the time on all the traveling Instagrams, all those photos.
It looks familiar. I've never been there, but I'm like, God, this just looks very familiar when I see the photos of it.
It's very beautiful. The snow is very fluffy, and it's really, really nice. So that trip kind of coincided with me visiting my cousin just a little bit before New Year's with the producer. It was a kind of a strange Christmas. It's like neither one of us really wanted to do much. We just wanted to kind of go have a day to ourselves and go do whatever.
Bro, that's not a strange Christmas. That's called growing up and getting older and more
But the thing is that, we didn't really think about like, oh, let's go get each other some presents and this, that, and the other. And it was just like, my parents told me the same thing too. Like for them, they're like, yeah, we didn't really think about doing something big this year. Anyways, so that was that. And then we went to Sendai, saw my cousin, which was really good. We had a really nice time seeing my cousin. The trip was really nice, really enjoyed it. She had to do a quick class in the morning and then a Zoom class in the morning. And then we jumped on the train from Osaka to Tokyo. Then we switched from the Tokaido Shinkansen to the the Tohoku Shinkansen to go straight north up to
Shinkansen
Sendai.
is
Bullet train.
bullet train. Okay.
Yeah. So we had to take the bullet train from Osaka to Tokyo, from Shin Osaka to Tokyo, and then from Tokyo up to Sendai. So it's a 2
So
hour
it's just like
one
you
way
went,
and
you
2
basically
hours the other
went
way.
straight over and then you went up.
Yep.
Okay. Because Osaka and
Basically did
Tokyo
that.
are close-ish on the same parallel, but just on opposite sides of the bottom part of Japan. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's like I always joke, like to me, like Osaka's like the San Francisco of Tokyo, or of Japan, and then like Tokyo is like the New York City in my mind. That's like,
We just don't have the crazy homeless people here. So it's,
yeah, minus the opioid abuse and crazy homeless people. Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I'll be honest with you, man. Like, if I'm going to spend any kind of measurable time in Japan, yeah, and I'll you know where I'm going in a few days. I prefer to go spend time in Osaka. It's just more fun. It's more chill. It's more relaxed. It's like
college, the city.
it is. It's like, I mean, Japan has a lot of like customs and formalities and things like that. And there's like a lot of things, you know, you kind of have to like, you can do and don't. I think as a tourist, they'll give you some leeway, especially in the touristy areas. You know, they're like, oh yeah, you're a foreigner or whatever. They just kind of ignore you, but because you're not knowingly making the mistakes. But Osaka, it's just kind of like, even the locals are like, yeah, we don't care, you know, and they do the same thing. It's a different, it's like a different chill vibe. If you want like the formal, like everything's like, oh, clean and perfect and everybody follows the rules to a T, then Tokyo is it. I mean, you should definitely go to both.
Yeah. Very Japanesey.
Very,
you know,
yeah,
you gotta go to
super.
Tokyo.
But if you want like a little chill, a little relax, a little more working class in a positive way, you know, like, you know,
Yeah.
like, hey, you know, we're going to go finish, we're going to do our work and we're going to drink some beers afterwards. And we might be like walking down the street, having some fun. Might be a little loud, might be a little, you know, rambunctious in the streets, a little more party, but nobody gets rough. There's no violence, none of that junk. Osaka's the town for you.
Yeah.
Oh, and the food in Osaka is like 20x better. I know everybody's like, oh, Tokyo's got great food. And don't get me wrong, Tokyo has some legit places. But I feel like the average shop in Osaka beats or is equal to the little hidden gems in Tokyo.
Yeah, the food here is really good.
Yeah, dude.
It's really good.
So, but by the way, I'm going to be
Very
going
good.
to Tokyo this week. The end of the week.
Oh yes. Yes. A quick last minute getaway that you're doing with the producer.
Yeah, just a little quick getaway, a few days, nothing long, just kind of that, and then I'm locked back in, and then looking forward, we can kind of pivot to looking forward a little bit. June, July, mid-year, I'm going to be stateside. It looks like next time. So,
Nice.
going to Vegas for a convention for work, and then probably maybe make my rounds. I will probably do some LA. Probably do some Tennessee, maybe some Georgia. As we get closer, we'll keep you all updated. If anybody's on that side of the world, we can catch up and do whatever.
Are you gonna go down to Let's Get It?
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Steve.
Steve. Oh man, actually it reminds me, if Steve's watching, I don't know if he's watching right now. I gotta reply to his email. You sent me an email. I gotta send him a reply back.
Ah, yes. The other day I was scrolling through work's Instagram and came by SS Airsoft, and there was Steve. And I didn't realize I didn't have the volume on, so I tapped on the volume and I got him just at the end. It goes, "Let's get it."
Oh, let's get it. I thought it used to be like, I'm a really big deal. We're a really big deal. That was his thing, right? That was his tagline. We're a really big deal.
I don't know. But now it's "Let's get it."
Let's get it. Get her done.
Yeah, let's get it. Big Steve.
Steve. He is a personality in and of itself.
Yes.
He's a character.
Steve is Steve.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Owner of
that's
SS
interesting.
Airsoft
Yes.
outside of Atlanta, Georgia. He's in not Canton. He's in
Sugarland or Sugar Hill.
Sugar Hill.
something.
Yeah, Sugar Hill, Georgia. Yeah.
Sugar Hill.
So it's kind of northeast of Atlanta, kind of a suburb up there.
It's Sugar something.
Sugar Hill, yeah.
Yes.
That I can. I mean, if I head back down there, I'll go back down. I'll see Eric and the crew at Airsoft Atlanta. Those guys. They got a cool shop, Tokyo Armory. Their shop, their retail location, and that's their storefront. And then they got like the online store, which is Airsoft Atlanta. Probably, I would dare say they're the They're for sure the oldest East Coast retailer that's been continually
Right.
operating. They might be the oldest period. I think they
Hmm.
might outdate like GI and Evic. I think.
Right.
He's been running for a long time. Like I remember it was like him and Red Wolf. Like
Based
if
off
you wanted cool
Atlanta.
stuff, it's like you had two choices: order from Hong Kong from Red Wolf, or order in the U.S. from those guys.
Yeah.
Mm.
Cool. Good to know.
Anyway, we don't want to talk about airsoft junk. What else is going on, man? What about
Yeah.
you? Let's talk about
I'm
your
gonna be.
future.
Oh, my future. That's always changing
Yeah, I know. Like
at all times.
every
Always in
week, new
flux.
story.
Yeah. It's like, just when I feel comfortable in one place. Nope. Gotta go.
Yep.
Um,
So Kai.
yeah, so we're gonna be making the move to the US at the end of March. So
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
you said that so nonchalantly,
It's
like, yeah, we moving to US.
I have
Mark's
to
moving to the US in March.
yeah, yeah, I know. It's
Next month,
it's
by the way. Not even like you said like, in
it's
March.
so
It's like makes it sound
it's
like
so
it's forever
tiring.
away. Mark
I
is
know.
moving to the US. Don't you remember like what, 8 months ago? We were talking about like Mark's moving to Japan. Yeah, he's
Yeah, I
going to
know.
Japan. He's going to Osaka. Now it's like Mark's going to America. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, just when I got settled,
Yeah, I know, right?
It's life.
Now, are
No,
you gonna
just
keep? You're gonna keep a base in Japan, like a base of operations?
so
What happens to your apartment there? Are
work
you done? You moving for real? For real? Or
work wise, yeah, I'm moving out of the apartment for real. So it's all good, it is what it is. It just gotta, I'm doing this back and forth, kind of, US and here, kind of every few months or so. So not like completely I'm cutting myself off from Japan, but it's just, it's gonna be majority of the time it'll be spent over there, which is a very foreign feeling, to be honest. Like it's been very an interesting last little bit of time here. Coming back from the U.S. in from January, just kind of put a lot of things in perspective, right? I grew up all over the world when I was younger, and I never really had a place that I would really call like a home or that I could go back home to. People who know me at all, every time I go travel or anytime I go out, I would never refer to going back to Hong Kong as going home. I've
yeah,
never said that.
true.
I've never in my life said it once, that I can remember. That I would go on a trip and say, "Oh well, time to go back to Hong Kong," and I would never say time to go back home as to referring to time to go back to Hong Kong. I've always said, "Well, I got to go back to Hong Kong." Like that. It's always been that, right? But it just feels really good to be able to say, let's say when I was in the US, I can say, hey, I gotta fly back home on, whenever. And then and everybody knows there's no there's no doubts about it that when I refer to it, it's here.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's quite a foreign feeling that I finally now lived in a place that I enjoy living in. I love the place that now I gotta go. So it's like a feeling that like I've never had the process in my life, right? You tell me, oh, we're gonna move to the. If I was still living in Hong Kong and say, oh, we're gonna move to the U.S. in like the end of March, I'd be like, can't it just be now? Like, can we just go now?
Yeah.
Can I just
Dude,
go
I
camp
know,
out
bro.
at the
Yeah, I
airport?
remember like we
You know?
talked. You couldn't freaking wait.
Yeah. You
Like,
can pay me enough to stay there.
yeah, you were like, do I have to stay here? I mean, like, really? I know you wanted out. I mean, like, not to get too political, I don't blame you, man. If you look at all
Yeah.
the stuff that's going on, especially what happened even recently with like some of the U.S. ambassador and some of the comments there, like that happened like last week. It's
I'm so fed up with the U.S. consulate and their stupidity in Hong Kong because I'm just gonna say this. My life is hinged on that embassy or that consulate general doing their job. I don't need to see you going out to take PR photos with grandma at the market or playing mahjong. You're not appealing to anybody. Please. Why don't you, instead of doing this, why don't you just go do your job? How about that? Huh? How about you get your workforce back off their butts and just go do your job? There's people waiting for you, right? People in line waiting for you guys to do something.
dude, it's the U.S. government. Are you joking? From a born and I mean passport holding since like my birth, U.S. citizen for freak's sake, I mean, you're asking, like, it's not even the consulate, man, it's the whole freaking government. It is the
Yeah. I
absolute
mean,
system. I mean, like, it's
I'm gonna tell you
like,
this.
I'd love to say, oh yeah, those guys there, they're incompetent, but everybody else is good. No, it's equal.
The Tokyo office, excellent. I give them
Well,
two
so I
thumbs
think
up.
it's some Japanese vibes, man.
So
I feel like I don't know why, but I feel like anybody who's in once you go to Japan, I feel like the work ethic and the expedience and the like duty to get your job done with pride comes out of you no matter where you're from. Like, you can't help it. It's like in the water, it's in the air, it's in the soil, it's in the food. Like, when you go to Japan, like it's about, like, my job is this job, and I have to do my job the best I can. Like, my job is to serve you. My job is to serve you. My job is to get these paperwork done. My job, I have to get as much paperwork done today as possible. I think it's just it's so much in the culture that even in the bubble of a consulate, it
yeah.
soaks in. I think it gets in, it permeates in, because you still hire local workers, right? And you can't take that out of the the people you hire, and that's one of the. As much as there's a massive bureaucracy in Japan, I mean, I just filled out my paperwork to come there, my visitjapan.com website, which, by the way, is not the same as the one I filled out before for my last trip, because we have a new system now.
Yeah.
And it took, I think, about 40 minutes, 45 minutes for the producer and I to fill it out. Or she did all the work. God bless her. She did the Chinese page. But it's like the bureaucracy, but the response time is fantastic. Once you submit everything, it was like 5 minutes later, like a human had looked at it, was like, you're approved. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
thanks. It's so, I don't know. I just feel like Japan's, like, there's positives and negatives with everybody.
Yeah, the embassy here really did. Because it's an embassy. So yeah, the Japanese embassy,
Right, it's a
the
proper
American
embassy,
here,
yeah.
they hit me back up pretty quickly, to be honest, like within a week turnover, which is wow, way more than what I can say
Dude.
at that trash consulate in that city.
Dude, it takes me a
you
month
know.
to get an appointment in the one
Um,
here. So
yeah.
just a
I
week
mean,
is
Uncle
fire.
Uncle Sam, I know you're listening, so if you're upset, you know who to light a fire under their butt. Okay, not me. I'm just here waiting in line.
Yeah.
So, I would say, they got back with me within about a week at a time, and they literally they went through my case. They told me this is what you need to do. If this doesn't work, then you got to do this. Then I did that, and I told them, hey, I can't get it transferred over. And then they're like, okay, let me look into it. And they got back with me again in a couple days and say, okay, so turns out we can't get anything transferred over for you because they haven't started anything.
Huh?
Yeah. So
Really? Wait. Now, let me roll this back. Tell me
So-
the date you sent your stuff in to the Hong Kong consulate.
Oh, to Hong Kong consulate? Oh,
When?
it's not up to me.
No. When did you when did you submit your paperwork?
No. So I didn't submit. I was not the petitioner.
Oh, okay.
It was my parents that was the petitioner.
Okay, when did they?
So they submitted August 2018.
Wait, August of 2018. 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2020. We're
Yeah, you
six,
can count 2023.
that's four
I
and a
guarantee they
half
won't get
years.
anything.
They
Yeah.
and they haven't even looked at it?
Nope.
The heck?
So what happens is they first it goes through the USCIS, right? Stateside.
Yeah.
They do their thing. So their thing is done. It's been greenlit by them and sent to the managing consulate, right? Because at that time I was unfortunately based in Hong Kong. So they had to send it to the consulate so they can open the case and start the process, right?
Could you before you get done the story, would it be quicker just to resubmit in Japan? Like
Under what?
But what? Like, start the process? I don't know, man. Like 4 or 5 years seems ridiculous.
But the thing is, like, I've already entered, so I can't even apply for anything else. So since 2018, going back to the U.S. has been a story of me having to tell the customs guy, oh, this is kind of strange, sir. I'm swiping your passport through, and I'm like, Well, let me tell you why.
So every time when they
And
swipe your passport, you have to,
every time, every time,
yeah,
every time, without fail, every time.
because they see it. I mean, they have your record. They're like, oh, it looks
Yeah.
like you've applied. Looks like you're in process.
It's like this is kind of weird. All your contact information's Arkansas. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, my family's
What?
there.
And where do you live? Is this a Japan? like,
Yeah,
officer, let me tell you, reality is stranger than fiction.
yeah,
But it is what it is. Anyway, so it's just a very stressful process,
yeah.
and the worst part is like, I can't do anything about it.
I
Right.
know.
So even the embassy here said, look, we would love to be able to handle it for you, but we can't until they've opened. If they opened and processed, then I can submit a transfer, pay the fee, and then the Tokyo office can get it transferred over here.
Nice, but you have to still wait for
Right.
them to open it.
Exactly.
Oh my god, wow. So Ho Chi Young was asking, can you tell us which state you're going to in the U.S.?
So for the short term or for the foreseeable future, for now, it's going to be Washington.
Oh,
So we're going to be living a little bit south of Seattle in a pretty place called Kent.
hmm? Kent,
Kent is
Washington.
very
Huh?
nice. Kent is very nice. We live right across, literally across the parking lot from Green River Community College, um, and we're in downtown Kent Station. So it's very nice place. Good people. It's all very good. So really really good place to be. So I'm glad that I'm there. I'm not having to deal with a lot of Seattle. Beautiful city, but just very expensive, like a lot of big cities. Right.
Yeah.
So
Told you my story about getting my windows shot out in Seattle.
yeah, I mean,
Shot
it's a pretty
out
place.
by a gun. So I was not in the car. All right, it just happened overnight at some point. But yeah, that's my
Somebody
one
was
and only
having a good
experience
time.
of
It wasn't
Seattle.
you.
It's like,
Yeah. So yeah, it's good times. Um, so yeah,
what's
so
cool?
so that's gonna be that. That's what's gonna happen. And so I got some stuff that I need to handle before getting over there. So I gotta pack my life up yet again,
Again,
and I'm
you've
gonna
just
pack
finally
yet
got
again.
probably truly.
Well, you know what? And I'm probably gonna be living out of boxes and stuff for another couple years before I actually be able to settle down somewhere. At this point, as
Mark
depressing
will
as it
finally
sounds, I've
grow
just
up when
accepted
he's
it.
40 and
Yeah.
quit living
I've
out.
just I've just I've just accepted it. It's just either it's A, never gonna happen, or when it happens, I'm just gonna be so far gone. It's just what it is.
Dude,
It's
what
just
you
the
need to do
face.
is just
You know.
collect affordable apartments all around the world. Like keep your place there, if it's cheap enough, and then just add a new one, add a new one, add a new one, add a new one, and just have your stuff. And then when you come back to the old place, you're like, oh my god, I forgot about this place. I forgot about the stuff I have here. You just like have clothes. You never have to. You don't have to travel with luggage. You just show up to the place. You got clothes there to wear. You know.
Yeah, if I had that much money, sure, Jono, I would love to.
It's a
I
dream.
would love
I
to do
know.
that. Yes.
So you,
I mean, look, ideally, I keep my apartment here. Of course, I would love to. At least I can keep a physical address here,
yeah,
right?
that'd be nice.
Ideally, I keep my apartment here, right? And I just always come back and I stay in my own apartment, and it'd be fantastic. And every once in a while, I can just loan it out to a friend or whoever that's coming through town.
Sad.
And,
See, that was me being selfish. Like,
you know. But yes, it's the same job. It's Lilacs USA. We've made this announcement last year in August already on the Lilacs International channel. It is the pinned video that this is gonna happen. It's not hidden. It's not some surprise. It is what it is. The only difference is at SHOT Show, the estimated date was announced, like towards the end of March. So everything is kind of set. We're kind of wrapping life up here to move back over there, and yeah, so fun times. So I gotta go and get stateside, get a few things sorted. Sent some car stuff to our friend Mr. Masaki, so he'll be looking at some potential company cars.
back to
I
driving
gotta
again,
go.
huh?
Yeah. Oh, I been doing that this last trip anyway. So
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna probably get with my parents and probably go sort myself out a vehicle and then kind of make a road trip slash the business trip out of it to just maybe drive back from Arkansas back up to Washington, hit a few places along the way, do some store visits,
There's so many roads you could
visit some
take on the
people,
way back. That's like a
Yeah,
crazy awesome road trip because you can go so many options of how to
yeah,
up,
yeah,
over and up, halfway, diagonal,
yeah.
up, over. So many great places.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, this one that I really want to do, it's legit just do smack bang north all the way up to Minnesota and then turn left.
Oh yeah, so you just go up what is that?
Pretty much.
Yeah, so that and
Yeah.
go through like Montana, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, and then into Washington.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Dakotas.
So
So
it's
if you go up, it'd be the
yeah.
Dakotas, Wyoming, Montana. Yeah.
It'll be North Dakota right into Montana,
Yeah, all
and then
right. Yeah, you
Montana,
skip Wyoming.
Idaho.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
gonna like just hug the Canadian border, just essentially like
Pretty
the
much.
first freeway down, just go west.
Yeah, pretty much.
Stop in
And so,
Bozeman, stop in Billings,
mhm.
stop in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho,
I
stop
mean,
in. There's a couple
it's
of
a
good places. There's
20.
some really good places up there.
Oh, there's some beautiful places there. I mean, it's about a 26-hour drive. If I did a straight shot
And you
from
peed in bottles. I
uh
mean, what?
from Eureka, yeah, from Eureka all the way to Seattle's 26 hours, and that's just like if I went from this point to this point, right? So I
Take
did
your
a
time, man.
little
Make it
bit of
like 3 or 4
calculation.
days.
Oh
Just
yeah,
really just slow roll.
yeah, for sure. I think that's the plan, right? I'm gonna probably hit a couple of cities on the way just to kind of be like, okay, I'm gonna hit, you know, Kansas City as well as Springfield, right, on my way up north.
Yeah.
And then once I go through Missouri, I'm gonna probably go Wisconsin and then Illinois. So kind of go up like that.
Huh? Cool.
So I can go hit like Mere
Oh,
Tactical
Mir,
and them
yeah, they good shop there.
up in Chicagoland area, and
Yeah.
then from there, then I just hit due west, and then I can go Minnesota Airsoft, and from Minnesota Airsoft, just that's that western curve, just due west straight through, hit those few stores in my Montana, and then that one in Idaho, and then go easter, go hit the few stores in Spokane, and from Spokane, go right back home.
Yep.
So
And real quick, Freedom, Starseed Airsoft, Private Bumpkin, welcome back. All three of you guys, welcome back.
welcome back,
The whole
guys.
crew's here, and we just Herman. We saw you too, bro. Got Herman sliding in
Yeah.
there, so we got the whole
Herman,
everybody's here. Yeah.
are you going to IWA, Herman?
Ooh.
Say hi to everybody for me.
So,
Give Saul a hard time.
yeah.
You have my permission.
By the way, we didn't even talk about this earlier. What am I drinking?
What is that?
It's like it's been sitting here for so long. It's like sweaty because Taiwan humidity.
Is that like a?
This
is
is
that like a?
this is a Taiwan beer. Let me see if I can get the camera to there we go. It's Taiwan beer.
Is
So
that a tomato?
okay, you would think it was because Taiwan beer, like whoever does their art department sucks. I'm dripping all over my keyboard. It's like my poor Logitech's getting destroyed. This is a premium Taiwan beer Cuba Libre. I'll spin it around because it has like there you go, the English
Oh,
side here.
it literally looked like a tomato.
It looked
I'm
like
is
tomato,
that
right? I
Taiwan
know, right?
beer
Their marketing like
michelada?
sucks, right? But it's like I guess it's like the lime. It's like Cuba Libre, and it says strong because if you spin it back around, boys rocking 10%, man. It's a 10%er. So
10%.
I don't know.
10%
It's
of happiness.
all written in Chinese, and I can read like 40 words maybe at best. So, oh my God, my hands are so wet now. Let me just try it. I gotta crack.
Yes.
It looks like I should be pouring
and
into it. I wonder if it's like a beer. I think it's a Cuba Libre flavored beer. All right.
What?
It smells like a pre-limed Corona. The whole thing I'm getting is a pre-limed Corona. Like somebody just squeezed
Oh
lime.
my gosh. A Cuba Libre inspired beer.
Tolerable.
Oh
6.3 out of 10. Keep
Ugh.
trying Taiwan beer. By the way, Taiwan beer is like the local like government owned brewery here. They make their house beer is like it's Heineken-esque.
It's like a lager, right?
It's a Heineken-esque lager.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's really, I mean, it's cheap. They have like an 18 days or younger version. You can buy in a bottle. It's like it's no older than 18 days bottled, like guaranteed. That is a pretty good one. But this one, it's tastes like those like 10% cheap malt liquor kind of beers you get, and then they just added lime flavor
Yes.
to it on top. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
okay. What they're trying to do is like that Taihu Brewery I always rave about. It's so good here. I think they're trying to go against Taihu because like they're obviously the people at Taihu are crushing these 9.99 percenters. So they're like, ha, those guys are doing 9.99. Hey, marketing idea, guys. We're gonna do 10. It's 0.01 better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
no, this one's noble attempt, but it falls into their IGA. They have an IGA beer. It's called. It looks like IPA. You think it's actually but you think it was like, oh, but it's an Italian grape ale IGA, and it's like white grape, white, like white wine grapes added to beer, and it's like another 9%er, and it's like, whew. I had low expectations. I think this was on sale for like $49, which is like $1.50. So if it tells you this is like $1.50 US, bros, bros and girls. So it's I think 6.3 is probably a generous number, but hey, if you like lime and over alcohol beer, this is your drink.
That's the one.
Oh, that it's hard, not in a good way. I might actually take Kucha over that one.
Yeah, gross.
That bitter tea I had. That's some tough. That's a tough one to drink. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna do it though, for the show.
For this show. So yeah, okay. Freedom762 asks, "How was my weekend with Mayday-san?" Yeah, he's fun. Fun times. You know, Mason is, how do I put it? He's a guy that has no inside voice. His inside voice is his outside voice. So, you know, he's how you see him in his videos is really how he is.
Yeah, for real. By the way,
he's the man is not acting.
What's the best way to describe him? Hey, you know that movie that just came out called Cocaine Bear?
No.
That's him, just as a human.
What? I thought this was a meme.
No, really,
there's a movie
you
called
really
Cocaine
know.
Bear.
This is really a movie. It dropped this last week. It dropped
Okay, I'm
this
gonna have
last
to go
week.
watch the trailer for this.
The whole premise, and it's allegedly loosely based on a real story. There's it's like a giant brown bear, grizzly bear, whatever, that like there's like a drug dealer's plane goes down. There's like a duffel bag full of Coke. And we're not talking about Pepsi Cola or Coca-Cola. We're doing the other kind, right?
Right.
And I guess the bear gets into it and gets like on it, and then goes on a rampage, and it's like a horror murder slasher, like getting hunted. So basically, everybody in the movie's getting hunted down by this like cocaine rager fueled bear. And if we haven't been demonetized now, I'm sure we are. Yeah.
Wow.
And funny enough, it nearly beat out the Ant-Man video for week 2 of release. It's second week.
Nice.
Earnings. I think they said that I was reading the story. They spent $35 million making the film, and in its first week, it made like 23 or 24 million.
Nice.
Yes. So they've already made their money back. It's kind of like if you guys have watched Sharknado, it's along the same vibe of Sharknado, apparently.
Oh, that's funny. That's so funny.
Starseed, thank you for the thing, man. I appreciate it. Starseed saying like, hey, there's like 7 of us here. Let's support the guys and go like the video. That'd be awesome.
Yes, please.
And Bumpkin got his Black Rifle Coffee Company, man. Got to support those guys too. I know they're going through a little bit of a rough time right now with their. If you follow the news on them, they're ready to drink distributor. So you know, Black Rifle Coffee has their own
Yeah,
brewing.
the canned one, right?
Their canned one. They partnered with a company. Black Rifle has blown up so much. Like
Dude, their canned ones is really good.
dude, the can was legit, right? Like
The cans are really good.
dude, the can's legit. Their roast is legit. I mean, like it's not a gimmick. I mean, their coffee is like, I got someone else stateside. I was like, oh, hey, you got BRCC here in the grocery store. I'm gonna grab some. I started drinking. Like, yo, this is really good.
Yeah.
Like for a can, like this is like legit.
300.
Yeah, the 300. Yeah.
Black.
Yeah, the 300 blacks.
They're
Oh.
so good.
Yeah.
I like the espresso latte, the tiger stripe one.
Yeah.
Oh, that was just.
And their roasted's
It's-
good.
it's
Their
good.
roast coffee's awesome too. Like
Oh yeah,
what
I had
Bumpkins
that
drink.
too when I was in Vegas. Yeah.
So anyway, they're doing that, and they partner with the company apparently, and I'm just paraphrasing this, so don't hold me to it. So they partnered with the company to do their ready to drink, the RDG or RDD stuff, ready to drink, RTD. The cans, basically putting the coffee in the tall boys like this, you can go buy at the grocery store. They had a multi-year contract, and they became so big so quick, and they became publicly traded that they've like shifted out to like the company they worked with just couldn't scale to their level of popularity because the product's good, like people want it, the marketing's good, like it's good marketing, good product. I mean, that's all you need, right? Like does it taste good? Does it over deliver on what it is, and is it affordable, and is it marketed well? And it is, checked all the boxes, and it's just exploded. They couldn't keep up. Now they're suing them like, oh, we had a contract, so they're suing them for like millions. Like they're supposed to get like, I forget the percentage per can. It's like a few pennies a can sold, but their ready to drink business, because they scaled so much past what that company was able to do. Like how many cans they're selling of this stuff in like convenience stores, grocery stores, it's everywhere. Like a few pennies a can. A few pennies a can adds up. Like think about, they're selling probably like 100,000 cans a day worldwide, right? Or 200,000 cans worldwide, or global, like US, every single freaking day. So they're going through some legal issues now, from what I understand, with their supplier. I was reading the story about that. But anyway, keep supporting them, man. Definitely Bumpkin. Keep doing their stuff, because
their roast is really good. I had their Just Black, and then their AK-47, whatever that one was. Keep forgetting the name, but yeah, they're AK-47. So at the SIG range day, Black Rifle actually had a tent, and all the coffee was free.
Oh, nice.
And it was fantastic. So they had Gunship, they had Just Black, and then they had the AK-47 one. I think it's just literally called AK-47, and they're all good. They're all good, and they didn't shy away from giving you a full cup of coffee.
Everyone, you're like just. Yeah. You can't even shoot. You're so freaking wired. You're
you're
jacked. Your sight, the dots, like just vibrating.
Like, hey, I don't know if it's just me or this dot is just it's buzzing.
Is there like a 15 hertz bounce on your scope on the dot here, on the red dot? I didn't think this had a 15 hertz bounce. Yeah, for real. I could imagine, man. Like you get over caffeinated, go to the range, no bueno. It's like, It's like just gotta.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. So your big news going to the States. That's huge.
Yep.
Right. Yep. I got no real huge news right now. Nothing big. Like I said, I'm going back stateside. Mid-year. I'll probably be back toward the end of the year again. Decided I'm gonna skip IWA this year. Obviously didn't go to SHOT Show. I was wanting to maybe try to do the thing in Houston with EVIC. Houston, Texas, like do their
Palooza.
Yeah, the Palooza, but I don't think I can make it with like when I have to go to the show, the convention I'm doing in Vegas. So I just don't think I can pull that off, like that many trips. And once you get to summertime, if you don't know, like flights, now that the world's back open, is kind of back to normalcy a little bit. Flights out of Asia to the States, like back and forth, it's like in the wintertime and like not a holiday, like it's not bad, except for like right around the week of Christmas, because everybody travels. And Chinese New Year gets savage, the airline ticket prices. But once you get to summertime, like you can kind of fly okay to the States, but inside the US, it's bad. I was literally going to be paying almost as much for the producer and I to fly from Vegas to Tennessee to see my fam as it was like the round trip ticket on that, as it was for like the round trip ticket to come to the US from Taiwan. Ooh. It was almost equal. And I priced it against every carrier. I'm talking like everybody from like United and American and Delta all the way to like freaking Frontier and Spirit, like up and down the range. Dude, it's like, dude, it's savage. It was like 70-80% of my international flight price. It's bad. I'm like, ugh, because it's summertime, right? Everybody's traveling. It's going to Vegas, so I'm trying to find some solutions so it doesn't just nuke my wallet, because it's like it's already expensive enough to come to the States, and then like you want to go see family, but it's just like, it's a lot of cheddar to fly. I'm genuinely, actually, I was thinking about, I was running the numbers. it's almost cheaper, but you lose so many days to rent a car and do the road trip.
Yes, that's exactly what I was about to suggest.
Mm. And the producer's
Yeah,
never
just
done a
drive
proper
it.
road trip. She's only done. I only took her from like Cali area, SoCal area to Vegas, but for her to get
Oh,
to
that
see
four and a
like,
half hour drive.
yeah, like four ish, but for her to be able to see like the long haul would be pretty cool. Just get like some kind of fun two-seater, something sporty,
Yeah.
something you can kind of
Or
maybe
you can also kind of see
massage the
more of the
speed
country too.
limits, massage the speed limits when you get, in the open areas that are between Vegas and civilization. Um,
Well, the funny thing is like you have to explain to people, right? Like you have to go with the flow of traffic when you're driving in the U.S.
yeah,
because you know because if you don't, you're more of a danger to other people
yeah,
and to
you do.
yourself, right? So if the highway is saying it's 65, 70, then you better be doing at least a 75, 80, 85, right? Because that's what everybody else is doing.
Where was it? Utah? Was it Utah or New Mexico? I forget where I was. I saw it was like I was driving through a section and the speed limit was 90. I was like, huh? And we're not
Nice.
talking about kilometers an hour for those of you
That's
out there.
miles.
Like we're talking miles per hour, which
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
145 or something. Like it's
Yeah.
it's
Remember, 80 is like 120.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
80 is
It's
like
like
120,
145, 100. It's like
125.
You're closing on like 150 at this point, 145. Yeah, yeah. And it was the speed limit. It was because there's nothing. Literally, the road. It's flat. It's straight. There's not even trees. You're in the desert. There's nothing to hit. If you go off the road, if you go off, you just end up in sand. And you're like, all right, well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's sand.
Yeah.
All right, I got to get towed out of this
Yeah.
now. It's like it's not even like there's nothing to hit. They're like the highway's divided. Like you might as well like 90 is a speed limit, and everybody knows you can go about 8 or 9 over the speed limit. So like they're basically saying like, yo,
I
you
mean,
can
minimum 8 or
you
9
can
over
you
the
can
speed
kind of
limit.
like roll up to 100. I'm like, dude, that's 100. It's
Yeah.
170, 170 something. If you're doing 100 miles an hour, it's 170 kilometers an hour. That's like you're like slow bullet train speeds.
Yeah. Yeah, the drive back from Portland all the way back up to Seattle. I mean, the moment we passed back into Washington, the speed limit went from 55 to 65,
Yeah.
right? And then after we went past Vancouver, Washington, it went from 65 to 70.
It's
And
70 on the
everybody
freeways in Tennessee.
everybody was not doing
It's
70. I tell you,
80-ish or low
everybody
80s
was
typically.
like I looked at my speedo, I was averaging 85.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
normal.
I was averaging 85 and fools were passing
Yeah.
me, okay? These guys was riding me and I was averaging 85. And so the thing is like so I caught right during the time when there was not a whole lot of truck traffic, but there was a fair amount of truck traffic coming up through out of Oregon going north. So,
And some of those,
you
man,
know,
those are those triple trailers they have
yeah.
up there. Like
Those,
in
those
that
the big big boy
the big
trucks.
boys. So
Yeah.
they have these semi trucks, the lorries. If you're a UK guy, right? They have like the cab, like the trailer part, the truck part.
Yeah.
And then they have like one, they'll have two, and then sometimes they'll have three. They have a triple behind them, and I'm like, it's only in that stretch between like Wyoming, Montana, Washington. They're running those routes up there where there's like pretty much nothing on the road again. They can
Yeah.
do it. They run these triple longers, and it's like you just
Yeah.
pull up on it, and you're like, that's a truck. It's like a freaking train. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't see too many of those. A lot of just regular Big Mac trucks, just some doubles. But yeah, like there's a couple sections going up through kind of Linwood area, just maybe even south of that. Just past once we passed up Vancouver, there's just a lot of truck traffic going north, right? So I had to kind of ride the fast lane just to get in front,
Yeah.
and I just ended up riding it at least for 20-30 minutes
Yeah.
because it's like you pull back in and then right in front of you is another one.
See, if you guys don't know, like
So
the semi trucks that we have, like they always ride the right lane, the slow lane. We usually have 2 lanes on the freeway. When you get to the big cities, the lanes spread out. Like you get multi lanes, but on the between big major cities, it's just 2 and 2, right? 2 going this way, 2 going this way. So the trucks always ride the right lane because they're respectful and they do the speed limit because I mean they're big, they're heavy. But what Mark's
Yeah.
situation is, so that means you end up having to ride the left. And there's so many at certain times of the day when they drive that it just jams up that whole right lane. You never get a chance to even get to what we call the slow lane. You're stuck in the left lane, which we call
Yeah.
the fast lane or the passing lane.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, you're not supposed to hog the passing lane.
But if you're constantly
get out of it,
passing,
you know? That's right. So that's the thing, right? So like I was averaging 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes of averaging 85. Certain times, depending on like the truck, I have to hit 90 to really kind of get in front of it. Trucks like, you know, with some like, you know, loose stuff,
or empty
dirt,
ones coming back.
you know, empty ones, yeah. So yeah, it was a good time. So average that all the way back. So it was fun.
So you wonder why, like this, there's good
driving.
reasoning, like for those that look at like American cars and you're wondering like, God, why are the engines so big there? Why do they need like a 5.0 liter engine? Why do they need a 4.6? Why do you like a 3.8 turbo? You know, like, what do you need that for? I'm like, have you been to the States?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because sometimes you know when you're stuck behind a truck, sometimes a lot of these guys, because the truck is so long, you do not want to be behind this thing. You want to get out in front of it and get out of its blind spot as soon as possible. So the crazy thing was when we were driving from LA to Vegas, we were driving a Suburban. We were driving this loaded out. We were driving the same Suburban you drove.
oh yeah,
when we were in,
it's like, it's basically
Wisconsin.
it's like a
Boat.
mini city bus. Yeah.
We were driving that boat with all that power. And the crazy thing about that boat was, number one, it was very nimble, even for how big it was. It would, dude, it would turn on a dime, but I can't see over the hood, so it was kind of weird.
Exactly.
Little scary. I'm like, oh.
And it's so long. Like when you look back in your rearview mirror, like I remember the one I was driving because I had an Expedition
We
and a
drove the
Suburban.
exact same one.
I had an Expedition and a
We-
Suburban during that
yeah.
trip, and at both, and it was the XL version, right? And it's like
Yeah.
the front seats, another row and another row, and behind the last row there's like ample storage. It's like I look back in the rearview mirror and I'm like I remember Masaki was in the very back and I'm like, he might as well have been in like two cars behind me. It felt like he was that far back. I'm like, I had to squint. I'm like, is that you back there, Masaki? You look like this tall. You're like tiny. It's so far back. These things are so big. They're like, I mean, they're massive. And they have a lot of power though. They have legit like these things that legit have some, like, you think, oh man, this truck is so big, it's not going to go fast. And you're just like, oh wait, oh nope, it's got it. They're easy to drive too.
Yeah,
they're pretty fun.
They're very easy to drive. I mean, that Suburban was very easy to drive. When you're on the highway, it was very confidence inspiring. That's terrible,
dude. It's like bitter. Ugh. I'm gonna finish it because out of respect. But ugh.
Yeah, on the highway, that Suburban is very confidence inspiring because it soaks up every single bump.
Yeah,
and there's no, it's a video game. It just feels like a video game. There's no feedback. There's nothing. It's just you turn, it'll turn. Like it's just
it's just like
that's it.
You're just like kind of it's PlayStation-esque, and it's also what's great is you're so big, the side you're so high up, it's intimidating. Like other people are just like, oh, they see you coming, they're like in the rearview mirror, they're like, and they just get out of the way. They're like, oh, sorry, and you're like,
and that thing just got so much power. You know, when I had to pass a truck in Vegas, like, you know, driving there, we're averaging like 75, 80.
Yeah,
right? I had a car full of people, and so I didn't want to push it too much. Got to pass the truck, check my mirror, hit my lights, get in the passing lane, step on the gas a little bit, throw you back a little bit.
Yeah.
But the moment you step on the gas, you look to check the truck's gone.
Yeah.
You passed it like that, and I look at my speedo. I'm like, 95.
No, it's not even a Toyota. I don't know if it's a Toyota Coaster minibus. It's hard to explain. And Stu, you're right. The U.S. cars compression ratio is not as high by far. But like, I remember I used to have a Fiat 500, and it had like a crazy high compression rate, which was awesome until you go to Colorado or somewhere with high altitude, and the car just chokes on you. But yeah, back to the big boy. Like, what's a Toyota Coaster minibus?
It's like those Hong Kong minibuses.
Oh yeah, it's probably about the same size.
No, I think it would be about the same size as a High Ace.
Whatever High Ace is.
like those smaller size vans in Hong
No,
Kong,
no, no,
or
no.
any of
There's
the
no.
delivery
I've
vans?
seen. Oh yeah, the high. Okay, the delivery vans. I thought you were talking about one like the mafia buses, the mafia vans,
What, like
the Toyotas or
the Vel
Lexuses.
the
Yeah,
Velfires, and
yeah.
then the L Grands. It's definitely bigger
The
than the L
Delcia.
Grands.
Yeah, it's way bigger than that. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
There's
bigger than the Delta. It's
yeah.
definitely
There's
bigger than
definitely. I saw
The
today on the
Delta.
road the closest thing I've seen here that would be in the same rough category, but not even quite there yet. I actually today on the road I was driving. I saw a Rubicon Gladiator, cheap Rubicon
Oh,
Gladiator
nice. Yeah.
in Taiwan. I was like, "What are
Right
you
hand drive
doing
too, right?
here?" Oh, yeah, well, we're right hand drive here anyway. We're the same.
Yeah.
We're the same as the states. No, we're left hand drive. We're
Yeah.
left hand drive.
Oh, you're left hand drive.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're all
okay.
left hand drive. We're the same side of the road as they. We're not like UK or Japan. We're like the
Right.
US.
Okay.
The same drive.
Yeah, because it's so weird. We have right hand drive Jeeps here, but there's also left hand drive
So,
Jeeps here.
no, no, Stu, it was a white one. So it was a white. It was a white. It was this older guy. He's probably up in his probably early 60s, maybe behind the wheel. I was really surprised to see that. But it was like a white, brand freaking new Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. I was like, yo, that's some money. That's some
Yeah.
serious.
Gary's
quality.
driving that car right now.
Yeah, I'm like, wow. I mean, it was like because you don't even see the Gladiators in the States. They're kind of rare.
Yeah. That's Terry from Oregon Airsoft's car.
It is. He has a Gladiator.
Yeah. Yeah. Terry has a Gladiator.
Yeah, this one was like, Stu. This one was like not lifted. It was like the factory big wheels, and so it's basically like the tires and the wheels you get with the Rubicon package because it has the I think the 4.1, 4.2 diff. It's got the higher ratio diff, so you can like rear differential, so you can do like rock climbing and off roading and stuff. Which again, you don't really need in Taiwan, right? There's no place to go. That's why I always laughed. I saw also today. I saw an orange McLaren.
Nice.
Forget which model it was. I'm not up on McLaren numbers.
Who cares?
It's just orange McLaren, right? It was the same
Yeah.
area, same zone. It was like we were kind of in like the foreigner area as we call it. Like it's where the international
Yeah.
school is up north. So near for Stu, he would know. It's up near what Shilin Night Market area. That area. It's like a Soko up there. Anyway, that area. So I saw that drive by and I'm like, the problem with Taiwan is this, and if like you have a really, really fancy like sports car, I see people with them all the time, like AMGs and all that. It's the badge, it's like really about having the badge because it's just like Hong Kong. There's
Oh, of
no
course.
freaking place you can drive
talking
it
about?
fast enough that the car is made for. Like even in Taiwan, you're like, oh, Taiwan's kind of big-ish, It's like 4.5 hours north to south. Yeah, but there's a speed camera every like 30 kilometers,
but
20 kilometers.
But
on the way down.
I've learned this from our friend Scott. I rather cry in my Lamborghini.
Yeah. But Scott lives in Scotland, right? Edinburgh.
Yeah.
So he has all
Scott's
these.
also like crazy.
Scott, yeah, Scott's crazy in a good way. He's wily.
Yes.
The word is wily. The best way to describe it is not he's not crazy. He's wily.
I don't know. Maybe he'd beg to differ.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Scott's Scott. He's the
Scott.
most.
Scott. Yeah,
Scott's
that's
the
right.
coolest, most
He's-
down to earth human being I know. Like it's just like he's so real. He's so cool. Anyway,
Yes.
but yeah, it's just like Stu says. Like we can't have nice things here. It'll get totaled, and it's so true. Like
get
in the
scratched up.
in the States, you can. I would absolutely be all about buying a nice car. So if I was back in stateside, Mark and I had this conversation a couple days ago. You and I did, right? We were like last week, actually,
Yes.
about 1 week ago. We are like, yo, stateside, it makes sense. Big engine, something sporty, something fun, because you have the roads to take advantage of that. And not saying break the speed limit, but there's so many places you can get on the corners. Nobody's around. It's safe. It's a
Yeah.
controlled environment. Only you can kill yourself, essentially, and
Yeah.
you're not putting anybody else at risk. Even by not breaking the speed limit, you can go do canyon driving in like the SoCal area. There's so many places to go. You can get on wide open straightaways. You can go to racetrack days in the States. There's so many tracks you can go to if you want to like open up something that's fun. Like just
Yeah.
push it to its limit and do track days. And if you wreck
Yeah.
it there, hey, it's your deal. You're on a track, right? It's like the safest place to do it. You have to have a
Yep.
helmet. You got to have all this stuff. But here in Taiwan, you just don't have that. You have a track, yeah, but that's it. You can track
Yeah.
date your car.
That's true.
I mean, you can't daily
is true.
drive it. Like, I don't know. It's just
But because of that though, the used car market, like at least in Hong Kong, was actually pretty good because there was really no place for you to proverbially open her up, right?
Oh, because they
And
couldn't rag it.
yeah, yeah, they can't. The fastest you
Hmm.
go in Hong Kong is maybe some rich kid will get on the airport highway and buzz 160 and then like act all badass in front of his girlfriend, and that's it, right?